How's it going, everyone? I'm Jakejames Lugo and welcome to my channel. So no big intro today because we need to be super serious. This time we're talking about Journey. Now I don't have to tell most of you, but for all the people in the back, there's definitely going to be spoilers in this review. So I don't want to hear about it later that we're spoiling this game because there is a whole lot to talk about in relation to Journey. So without further ado, let's just dive right into this and see exactly what Journey is all about. Journey is an adventure game developed for the PlayStation 3 back in 2012 by a studio called ThatGameCompany. While it was released on the PlayStation Network, Journey eventually was given a physical release later in the year as part of the Journey collection, which included two other games with it, Flow and Flower. ThatGameCompany went on to win many awards for their work on Journey, including a Grammy nomination for Best Score in Visual Media. Outside of a really great soundtrack, Journey is abundant with simple, yet elegant colorful visuals that can appeal to just about anybody. Detail within visuals of a game is great, but sometimes basic shapes and real good dynamic lighting can reinforce any game's central themes and total experience a whole lot more. I won't get too much into the story of Journey in this review. There is a narrative that's told visually rather than just explained, but it can be interpreted pretty differently, giving a lot of leeway to understand what the game shows you. Since it came out, many gamers who've sat down and played it swear that it's one of the best games ever made, and yet, others can't fully understand the big deal about it, especially for a game that is short and devoid of many things that other smash hits include. Finding which side you fall onto is more complicated than it seems, especially if you're getting only what's on the surface. There's definitely a whole lot more to this game than what you might actually think. Now, I've only played through Journey a few times, including twice for this review. And the very first time that I played Journey, I actually didn't like it. I came at it with the wrong perspective and the wrong mindset at the time, mainly based on like a lot of the reviews and other people that were talking about it really hyping up this game. And I feel like many people suffered through something similar based on all the like positive talk that this game was getting. And when they finally sat down to play it, they were very disappointed because it just didn't live up to the hype that it was getting so much. It wasn't until much later when I sat down to play Journey again that I really fully understood what this game was trying to do and what it was trying to offer to the player. It's not something that really was action heavy. It wasn't giving immediate satisfaction and gratification. This is a game that's an experience that's very different than what we've ever gotten before. This is one of those artsy games that you hear so much about but seldom really see because a lot of developers, a lot of publishers try to make games that are supposed to be artsy to push gaming as a medium, forward as an art form, but don't really do it in specific ways because they fall into all these different tropes. But there's a number of different reasons why Journey actually does this very well, so let's just get into some of the specifics about it. To describe what Journey is can be a little difficult, especially for those who are only judging the game based on first impressions, but I'll do the best I can and take it one step at a time for you. Journey plays like a simple adventure game with very little explained to you. It only gives you the bare bones info on the controls and exactly how things work. Everything else is shown visually and you gradually learn to understand what can be done. Because of this, the pacing of the game can start off very slow at first, and eventually fluctuates as you play. What you're getting here is a deeply unique and emotional experience that relies heavily on your ability to be completely in the moment. You honestly can't just nonchalantly play Journey with the blind expectation of immediate satisfaction. This isn't that kind of game that so many of us see all the time. As you play, you'll come across many ruins and wide open spaces with some puzzles to solve and obstacles to get around. A lot of this is done by interacting with the tapestries woven into the environment and causing something to change nearby. The puzzles themselves are not complicated and many of them are even optional in a few ways, depending on what you interact with along the way. Early on, you gain the ability to float around for a brief period, which can help you get over gaps and reach new places within the environment. How long you can float is shown by the light that's on your scarf that you wear, and it depletes as you fly around. The time you float can be increased when you find glyphs that are hidden around each area, which causes your scarf to grow and lets you stay in the air for much longer. If you manage to find the maximum number of glyphs, you can have a real long scarf and float around for a good while. While there isn't a lot of action in the game, you can actually take damage from large enemies that hunt you. When that happens, your scarf will break and limit your ability to float around, but you can also replenish your scarf eventually if you find more glyphs that are hidden nearby. Mechanically, the game is very accessible because you're not doing a lot of complex and in-depth stuff other than getting from point A to point B and solving some very simple puzzles. And this is cool because I've always said that simplicity in games is a great thing, especially when you could focus less on like how you do certain stuff and focus more specifically on what you're doing and why you're doing it and why it's uniquely important to you. And because Journey is so abstract despite the narrative and the plot that's actually shown to you, it's like so open to like interpretation, you get a little bit more personable with what you're doing in Journey, with all the open wide spaces, you know, just like the different music and the sounds that you hear. It becomes a little bit much more of a like, you know, an introverted experience as opposed to like, you know, just focusing on everything else around you. And the crazy part and why exactly Journey is so good, no matter who you are and no matter who sits down to play this game, everybody's gonna feel something radically different. Eventually, you reach a critical point in Journey where things become much more direct and lead you straight towards the end. If you're playing this game without the mindset of just trying to finish it, then you'll hopefully understand that everything is more about what you go through personally rather than the ending. You'll go through a whirlwind of emotions just getting through the last few areas, and if I could be real with you for a second, this hits me pretty hard. I've only completed this game a few times, and the level of emotional impact it has on me is the same each time that I do so. The experience is so powerful that I really don't think anybody could sit down and play through this game in multiple successions, at least not without becoming emotionally impacted. Even when I was going through this game for review, I found myself needing to take a step away and regroup in between sessions. Yeah, it was that real. The experience is that potent and that visceral. I really defy anybody to sit down with this game and not feel something. Anybody that tells you otherwise is either straight up lying to you or just doesn't get it. It's what all great pieces of art do in their own unique ways, and why I can't help but think that Journey really does push our medium forward in a big way. The truth of the matter, Journey isn't like other games we've gotten over the years. It's not a game that you just simply play to get through, or watch others play, or hear about in passing. This is a genuine and unique experience that you feel more than anything else. I'm not even gonna beat around the bush with this one, guys. Journey really is one of the best games I've ever played. And everybody that sits down to play through this, for one reason or another, it ends up being so good for so many different things that you wouldn't expect to come out of a video game. Like I mentioned earlier, so many great pieces of art make us as the viewers and the audience feel something, especially if it's very visceral and very deep. But it draws out an emotion from us from having experienced what the artwork is presenting to us. And that's what I get from something like Journey, which I really believe pushes the medium of video games as an art form forward in ways that many other games just don't really kind of achieve and don't really kind of reach or even attempt to do. It's something that's very special, and I feel like if you sit down to really play it and just be present within the moment of what Journey is actually giving to you, you'll see that same thing as well. Anyway, guys, those are my thoughts about Journey. It is a fantastic experience that has a lot to give to all of you. Provided you come at it from the right mindset and, again, just present in the moment with it, you're going to get so much out of playing this game. Again, it really truly is a very special and very unique game that I feel like everybody should experience at least once at some point. But like always, with every other game I review, those are just my thoughts about Journey. Let me know what you guys think about it down below in the comments section. Tell me, have you played Journey before? What were some of the emotions and things that you felt about it when you played? Do you hate Journey? Did you not like it? Do you think it's overhyped? What are some of those other artsy games out there that you feel like really do something special for the medium, that are just much more than just a simple video game, that they're trying to do something cool? Put all that stuff down below in the comments section. Thanks for watching this video, everyone. Go ahead and click the boxes on the side to see more videos and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Don't forget to go visit my Patreon page for exclusive gaming content that I know you'll really love. Hope you have a chill day. Peace out and stay epic, everybody.